Hello, America, FBI and CIA agents, and fellow cult members. Welcome to Culture Club USA. I'm DeBravo. And today's riddle is, her blonde ambition was in jail, but will her parole hearing be a victory or a fail? Okay, in today's episode of Crime and Culture Unfiltered, we'll look into the bail hearing of a seemingly nice girl accused of a heinous crime. Make sure to watch until the end to see how it all turned out. Let's dive in.
This is the time set for an original hearing for Kesley Pope. Is that you, ma'am?
Yes, I'm Kesley Pope.
You know your offender number?
Yeah, my offender number is 254630.
Thank you. My name is Blake Hills. I'm a member of the Board of Pardons and Parole, and I've been assigned to conduct the hearing. I need to swear you in, so please raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you will give will be truthful and accurate?
Yes, I will be truthful and accurate.
Thank you. Go ahead and put your hand down. Ms. Pope, did you receive 7 days written notice of the hearing?
Yes.
Did you receive a blue disclosure packet?
Yeah.
Did you review it?
Yeah, I did.
Are there any questions or concerns about the packet, or was it generally fine?
No, it was generally fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go forward today?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let me explain a few things for your benefit and the benefit of those who are here. First, no decision will be announced today in this hearing. Do you understand that?
Yeah,
It's something that will come later, and I'll talk about that more towards the end.
no problem.
The way we will proceed is there is a victim representative here who I've been told wishes to speak. So we will hear from him first.
Okay.
Then you'll have an opportunity to respond to him. And at that point, it will just be a response only to what he has said. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
After that, you and I will talk about the offenses, what you've been doing in prison, and what your release plans are.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You'll have an opportunity at the end to bring up anything you think the board needs to know that we haven't covered.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about any of that?
No, I'm ready.
Okay. Sir, would you come up to the microphone, please? And will you please raise your right hand?
Am I allowed to turn? No.
No, just, can you see the monitor here?
Yeah.
You'll be able to see and hear him, okay?
Okay.
Sir, do you promise that the testimony you will give will be truthful and accurate?
Yes.
Thank you. Even though I have your name written down here, I need you to state your name for the record.
Christian Dow.
Thank you. Mr. Dow, go ahead and tell me what you would like the board to know.
I would like the board to know, one, how bad my family has been hurt over the last 3 years. We have not recovered from this at all, especially my daughter. The one thing that she feared the most was that her mother would go away and never come home. She lived her nightmare. She is still living her nightmare from that. She lost her brother that she was extremely close to that night. They were inseparable. She wanted to be here, but because of the time frame, she just was not able to make it. But she wanted everyone to know that even with her brother, part of his soul was with her every day of her life. And now that's all she's got left that she has to carry around.
Okay, I'm just going to interrupt him for a second, okay? This family is not letting that girl off the hook, okay? She could do all the crying and whining she wants. But I don't think that she's going anywhere but back behind bars. Okay? I'm just curious how this happened and how it got to this point, because it's the little things, especially when you're driving and things like that, like under the influence, weed everywhere now, cell phones, all these distractions. Like, is it really worth it? You really got to think of these situations the next time you get in the car and text. Yeah.
From what I've received from the reporter, it doesn't seem like that any accountability has been taken from the Pope family on this issue.
So accountability. Now I'm just to reel you in, let me just give you a little tiny bit of background. So this is a DUI case. That girl that was crying, yes, 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 she was drinking and driving and obviously killed 2 people, a mother and son. Okay.
Because they were blaming my family for that accident, saying it was their fault and not taking any responsibility or accountability for the fact that Ms. Pope here was drunk, driving the vehicle with no insurance, and for me personally, it's appalling on how things were handled. And personally, also, I think only 5 years for both my wife and my son is also appalling. I understand that the judge says that's the minimum, and that's why he gave it to him.
Can you imagine 5 years? You killed 2 people because you were drinking and driving, which was a choice. Okay? A choice. This isn't really an accident. That's a choice. You chose to get behind the wheel of a car drunk. And you're talking about 5 years? Now, how about life in prison? Okay? You took 2 lives. I'm sorry. To me, there's absolutely no excuse. You get behind the car, the wheel of a vehicle. That is a weapon, okay? A vehicle is a weapon. It takes responsibility to even be able to drive. And she had no insurance. 5 years. I don't know what I would do, okay? If I was in this situation.
But it's not enough, in my opinion. I don't know if it's possible to overturn that ruling at this point. And if it's not, personally, she needs to stay for those 10 years and really think about and really take accountability for what's happened here. My son won't speak, but he's completely devastated here. We are all trying to put the pieces back together the best that we can, and we just can't do it. Even till now, we're just struggling. My daughter has become emancipated, trying to go out on her own. I think part of it is because that's what she really wanted, but I think part of it has to do with the fact of the accident happening and trying to control something in her life because her whole life was upside down. And my son and I were just trying to make it through each day to make this work. And it hurts. I can't think about it because it tears me up. And I can't say for sure, for a fact, but I'm sure my son feels the same way. My daughter wanted to come in here and speak and put her mind out there, but she chose not to. I just think more needs to be done in this case to show where the law and their thoughts and their emotions and their actions play a big part, and it needs to change completely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that very well-spoken, heartfelt statement.
How sad. Seriously, how sad. I can't, I can't, first of all, I can't imagine it because it's just something that didn't need to happen. Didn't need to happen. And, society is so far gone. There's just absolutely no accountability. And I say this all the time whenever we do cop cams or it's some DUI. I just don't understand it because there is Uber. Like, you have money to go to bar, money to buy alcohol, but you can't just literally get a ride home. I mean, I don't get it. This is not an accident. This is not like some manslaughter case where it was a car accident and you accidentally, if there's texting involved, if there's phones involved, if there's drinking or drugs and we're just so far gone. It's just so sad. And 10 years, I'm sorry, she should have life in prison. Why does she deserve to get a second chance? Do the two deceased people get another chance? Does the family of the people that were killed due to her unaccountability and irresponsibility get a second chance? Why should she? Why are we so lenient on criminals here? I don't get it. Especially this crime. I don't get it.
Ms. Pope, you're not required to respond, but you may respond if you wish. Do you wish to give a response?
Yeah, I would.
Now, we want Mr. Dow to be able to hear you, so can you move just a bit closer to the microphone so he can hear?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I can't say sorry enough. And what I did was so wrong. It was so wrong. And I will deal with that for the rest of my life as well. I cannot even put myself in your guys' family position. As I've tried so many times, it's so impossible. It's so impossible. And my heart hurts for you and your family so much. My selfish decision broke your innocent family. And I wish I could take it back every single day. I pray to Susan and Tobias every day as I pray for you guys today. And I said to myself, I can understand why you don't want to forgive me. And I'm so sorry for some of the things my family has said. And I wish that we could all just be in each other's positions to understand how each other are feeling and how each other is feeling, but we just can't. And I said, no matter what was said from my family, it was so wrong. And it is my fault. And I will never not say that it wasn't my fault.
Okay, let me just interrupt her because, I don't really care if I have to interrupt her. She's apologizing for things her family has said. So clearly her family is like taking her side and trying to say she did nothing wrong. Now, who raised her? Okay? Obviously, your family is really no better than you because I would never, just off of how I was raised, ever get in the car drunk and drive. Are you nuts? Like that is it's just beyond. I mean, anything can happen. Why would you even risk driving a block? A block. Nothing can ever convince me that her parents are good people. I'm sorry. Sorry.
But I also want to just say to your family that no matter what, Christian, the day that you came and saw me here at this prison, regardless of if you forgive me or not, now to this day, I got to hug you. And I've been wanting, from the night that the accident happened, I was wanting to be the one to come tell your family what I did and the mistake that I made. I was getting told I was crazy. No, Kesley, you're not going to go tell. I said, please let me be the one to go tell them that this was me. And I was reflecting on some of my journals just last night, and I want to apologize.
Of course you were reflecting on your journals. You're in jail. You got nothing else to do. I mean, I'm sorry. Look, we take life for granted here. Okay? We take life for granted. This is what society has done. This is how crime affects culture. This is how culture puts people like her in this position. Because culture and Instagram and Kim Kardashian and this and that says, oh, drink high, do Molly, do this, do that, do all this stuff, right? Oh, nothing will happen. You know, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Just like Brandy, the singer. She killed some woman. Texting. Was it really that important, Brandy? Really? Really? Bruce Jenner did something too. I don't know the details, so I'm not going to comment too much on it. But, I mean, these people in general, and now, if you have a cell phone, you're a celebrity. Because if you can put yourself on Instagram and get like, you know, a couple thousand likes and whatever, you're now a celebrity. You see how that works? So she feels like she's special because she's cute and blonde and beautiful and every other thing, right? And obviously it seems like she probably, if I had to guess, you know, didn't really want for much, got her way, you know, her parents were just like, oh, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And now look where we're at. Like people are dead. Okay. You cannot bring back a life. And you're praying, all your prayers, sweetheart, really don't mean anything at this point. Okay. Cause it doesn't change the fact that this family has lost a mother, a son, a brother, a wife. Sisters. I mean, are you kidding me? What about the wife that passed away? What about her family? I mean, this is disgusting. All the crying in the world cannot convince me that she even deserves 10 years. She deserves life in prison. I'm sorry. If you're going to put people in jail for 25 years for weed, I mean, this is how I see this. And this is important. If you're selling drugs, okay, to people that are addicts. Those addicts decided and made a choice for themselves to go buy those drugs. That's your choice. Okay? However it happened, you are choosing to go and do that crack, do that meth, do that coke, whatever it is, okay? You're making that choice. So you're buying drugs from a drug dealer. That's between you and the drug dealer. You understand? When it gets to the point when you involve innocent people that had no part in this, done. Life in prison. I'm sorry. Okay? Life in prison. Your choices affected somebody else's life. Life in prison. Harsher laws need to be made for drinking and driving under substances like this. This is absurd. Look at what just happened to Angie Stone. How did that happen? Really ridiculous.
Because was thrown off by this news segment that I saw last night.
So she's in jail watching the news. See what I'm saying? I mean, they're probably serving her sushi too. Is Martha Stewart coming to decorate your cell next? I mean, what are we doing here?
Because I went back and I looked in my journal and I wrote about the best day of my life is when Kristen Dow came and saw me here. And I got to feel closer to their family and understand their hurt because I was living in the what ifs and the regrets. And I was living in so much devastation in my head. Every single morning as those lights turned on, I was reminded of what I did every single day. And when he came and saw me that day, he inspired me to be a better person no matter how hard times get. And so I want to say, no matter how you feel, I will respect it. And I understand it. And I am so sorry forever and ever. And I validate everything that you're feeling. and I will try to understand for the rest of my life. So thank you for sharing. And that's what I have to share to him.
All right. Ms. Pope, did you read the description of the offenses that was included in the blue packet?
Yeah.
Do you agree that that statement is accurate, or are there things that need to be clarified?
There's a few things that I think that we will get to within the questions. I think that as of right now, and that's nothing too big.
Tell me about your
See here, you see now the real her is coming. Oh, there's a few things that need to be clarified in the blue packet. Yeah, there's a couple things. Yeah, I didn't have that many drinks. No, it's like a quarter less. And also, I wasn't going that speed. It was like 2 miles less per hour. Okay, so these are important things, in my trial, which is coming. You see what I'm saying? I mean, what is she clarifying? I just want to know. What are you clarifying here, Miss Pope?
history with alcohol. When did you begin drinking?
So I began drinking. I moved down to Costa Rica when I was 18 years old. And that was when I first started drinking. I was 18 years old at the time, and that was actually the legal limit down in Costa Rica. And that's just when it was open to me.
How about the United States?
Parents got to get rid of her too. Parents were like, you got to go. Go to Costa Rica. We can't deal with you anymore. Mm-hmm.
United States, how often were you drinking and how much were you drinking?
So between the ages of 18 and until I was arrested, 22, how often was I drinking? Not often. Socially, with coworkers or friends, occasions, things like that.
So you don't drink often, but the few, seldom times you did drink, you decided to get in your car and drive. Do she realize she's making this worse for herself right now? I mean, get on the witness stand and say, I have a severe alcoholic problem. My mother was putting vodka in my bottles, which is how I got addicted. I've been an alcoholic since the age of 9 months. Okay. My parents are crap. Say something. I mean, Jesus. I mean, this is what you're saying? I moved to Costa Rica and was a wild child. My parents paid for it all probably. And I don't drink much, but whenever I do, I make sure to get behind the car, the wheel of a car. I mean, are you following me here? Is it just me? Or is this girl like dumb?
How much do you recall drinking on the day of these offenses?
What I recall from drinking that night was I knew that I had somewhere else to go. And so in my mind, from what I remember is that I had about 4 drinks that night and then 1 hard liquor shot.
4 drinks and a hard liquor shot, and she just said that she knows that she had somewhere else to go. Roll this back. This is crazy.
In my mind, from what I remember is that I had about 4 drinks that night and then 1 hard liquor shot so about a total of 5 drinks within 5 hours of when I started drinking until the incident.
Let's talk about programming. You were in the Elevate program about 2 years ago. That was unsuccessful. Can you tell me what happened there?
Yeah. Well, and I'll mention this as well as I am in the Elevate program right now. They recently moved me in just a couple weeks ago, and I'm happy to be back. But the reason why I got taken out beforehand was there was an incident in the mini yard, and someone got very aggressive, and I was in the wrong place at the wrong moment and trying to help this person. And
oh yeah, you're trying to help them out in the yard, in the jailhouse, right? Yeah, because you're a saint now. Yeah, you're Mother Teresa. You're running around helping, inmates and, no. You got in a fight because you're you-know-what. And you don't really, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I'm sure. I'm wondering what your mother's like. I mean, really? just can't. Nothing this girl can say. Nothing is going to make me feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for people that drink and drive. I just don't. Sorry.
And there was no helping this person that was showing anger. This person in the vineyard was showing anger, and she took it out on me, and it didn't look good on camera. And as much as, this person's my friend, I tried not to take it personal. I tried not to do too much about it and let it kind of slide off. And security saw it, and they ended up taking us out of the program and putting us under investigation of what happened in the incident. They saw that I didn't do anything, but due to the fact that I had something that I was not authorized to have in my property, which was, which I'm so embarrassed about, is butter. I had butter from culinary, and I wasn't supposed to have it. And they said, you weren't supposed to have this, and so I got a write-up, and you're not supposed to have write-ups in this program. And so
So she's a thief, too. She's a drunk and a thief. You stole butter from and what were you doing? Were you like frying up eggs in your cell? I'm just curious. What were you doing with butter? I don't know, trying to stick it in the thing so you could like maybe get out and unlock it? What were you doing with butter? I'm just curious.
Got suspended of 90 days out of that program. And so after that 90 days, they realized you don't see the board for another year and a half. And so they kind of like prolonged it, and then other things happened that we can speak about.
Have you been in the Elevate program long enough to learn anything that will impact your thinking or behavior?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell me what it is.
Yeah, Dana and Kim, they're amazing women. And they understood that, I would walk into some of these groups and these women would be sharing these insane stories of their addiction. And I would sit there and I'd be not, I don't want to use the word fascinated, but I'd be like very inspired by them. And so, but they could tell that I was kind of to the side being quiet, and so Dana and Kim pulled me aside and they said, it's okay that, like you're going through something very traumatic, and, your substance abuse is new, you're young, and this is all so new to me. I'd never been in a program before. And so I learned how to feel feelings without feeling so much guilt. And they were teaching me how to forgive myself.
And listen, you know what? Forgive yourself. Whatever. Okay, this school system. Okay, in this country, socio-emotional learning, right? Okay, she has no feelings. We are literally emotions. We become numb to everything, including human life. We don't respect life. We don't respect ourselves. We don't respect others. And hello, this is what the world has become. So right now, the only reason why you're seeing her be emotional, it's all selfishness. It's all it's all about her, me. Yeah, now you're crying because you're in jail. You see how that works? Now, if she hit these people, killed them, got away with it, no one knew who it was, she was in who knows? Get it? Right? Just say, we know that's not possible, but let's say that. Do you think that she would come forth and say, I actually killed these people driving? And do you think that would happen? No. She'd go right on along with her merry life.
They were teaching me how I can live a life without alcohol. And they were teaching me how...
You're living a life without alcohol right now without a problem because you're in jail, sweetheart. And you're not getting out anytime soon, so you got no choice. You get what I'm saying?
How to deal with anxiety and PTSD, and they were teaching me so many life skills that I will hold on to forever. I was in there for about 6 months, and I was in the pre-Elevate, which I didn't understand what pre-Elevate was, but I know it's just because I had a little bit more time, a little bit longer to do.
Okay. One thing that you mentioned yourself that is concerning is there have been a fairly large number of disciplinary violations. Can you tell me generally what is going on that has led to 3/4 of a page of disciplinary violations?
Yeah, I can.
I'm waiting to hear this. On top of her killing 2 people, she's in jail trying to get, parole or bail, whatever it is, right? And you have a sheet. You got a laundry list of disciplinary violations. This girl has serious mental problems, okay? She has anger management problems. She has serious mental problems. If they let her out, she'll do it again.
Oh, I've reflected on all my write-ups, every single one of them. And even if the ones that didn't make sense to me in the moment, I'm choosing to learn why following rules is important. And some of these rules are a lot of housing rules. And some of the housing rules I struggled with. Moving to this new prison from Draper to this new prison was a big change. It was a really big change. And sometimes I felt like I was having to learn the rules by breaking the rules. And I didn't like that when it comes to laundry or being out of bounds. And there's a few of them that I'm so disappointed in myself. When I saw that blue packet, I basically asked myself, I said, why can't I seem to get a hold of myself when it comes to following these rules? I did a lot of things that made me feel comfortable. And I did break those rules, and I do take accountability for that. And I feel embarrassed over it too. I do. And I feel like I did care sometimes more about maybe like the way that I presented myself than maybe following the rules. And that's where I went wrong.
There's a statement in the IPR, the Institutional Progress Report, that says that you have said that some of the rules are stupid and that it appears that you think they don't apply to you. Is that a statement that you made?
Every single time that I wouldn't say every single time, let me rephrase that. If I were to get a disciplinary, I would go to this thing called OMR, and I would go and I would say, this sounds so stupid. So was I actually saying that the rules are stupid? No. But when I was defending myself and I was saying, oh, this is so stupid. Like, this is what happened and this is why I did it. And my intentions were good. And I apologize for what I did. I understand that that's breaking the rules, but hear me out.
Why should we hear you out for breaking the rules? The rules are the rules. See, there's no black and white anymore. It's like I said, okay, values clarification. This girl is actually a fantastic example of values clarification, okay? The rules are the rules, Johnny. Okay? Now, why'd you break the rules? Oh, because you felt that they didn't apply to you. Do you see what I'm saying? I use this all the time. Johnny killed his mother. Why'd you kill your mom, Johnny? You know it's wrong to kill. Well, I killed my mom because she was mean to my father. Well, do you feel it was okay to kill her then, Johnny? Yes. Do you feel bad? No. Do you feel you did the right thing, Johnny? Yeah, I did the right thing because she was nasty to my dad. Okay, Johnny, then it was okay to kill your mother. That's values clarification, and that's what we're watching right here. The rules are the rules, but they don't apply to me because I'm special. Because I feel like they don't apply to me. Okay? 10 years for this trash? She should get life in prison. You gotta be kidding me. I'm in shock that she has a laundry list of rules that she wrote. Disciplinary? I mean, what? And you're gonna let her out? Come on. That father that lost that son and wife, he's kind. He's way too kind, way too lenient. She deserves 10 years. They're trying to give, life in prison.
So would I say that following rules is stupid? No. When I'm on outside of prison, I'm a rule follower. I try to follow the rules as much as I can.
You're a rule follower outside of prison? You drove drunk. How is that following the rules, lady? And you had no car insurance. Don't think I forgot.
As a human being. And I take a lot of pride in that. And here it was just a whole different world. It was a whole different world. And I regret saying the word stupid because they're not stupid. And there's a meaning behind all of them. And I think it more came out of frustration that I kept getting knocked down for something that I didn't mean to look bad. or to do something wrong, you know.
Don't forget what she just said. She takes pride in following the rules when she's a civilian outside. Yeah, this is coming from a drunk driver who killed 2 people. She takes pride in how she follows the rules. She's a rule follower outside of prison. Mm-hmm.
If you were to be released, where would you live?
So I'm open to so many things if I were to be released.
She's open to anything. She'll move in the alley. She'll go into the subway. She'll be a maid in somebody's house. I mean, she'll do anything. Are you kidding me? She'll live in McDonald's if you want her to. Anything but jail. Okay? She'll move in the bar. We know that. That's probably choice 1. I mean, really?
I've been working with my case manager so much when it comes to this, case manager, Officer Hooley, he's such a good man. As mad as I was at him for some of the things that he said to me or some of the things that he came to me with the truth, and I was so mad with the truth, and he would sit me down and he would do what was right, and he stands up for what was right. And so with making a plan with him, he made me open to all options, whether it's a residential program out there, another one if that's what you guys find is okay, or I was really open to doing the Cooks program as well. As I've graduated culinary arts, I was open to doing something like that as a transitional.
Yeah, that's just what she needs, a culinary arts program where we can cook with wine. Cooking with Wine by the DUI convict who murdered 2 people, killed 2 people drunk. That's murder. If you get in the car drunk and drive and you kill someone, that's murder.
Move, and also my grandpa.
Okay.
Oh, my grandpa. Of course. We want to move in grandpa. Let's run over 2 people. Let's take 2 lives. And then go home to grandpa and eat ice cream cones. Girl, what planet are you on? Again, you're on Mars.
How would you support yourself?
Grandpa's pension, of course. I mean, what do you mean support myself? I've never had to work a day in my life. I mean, support myself. What does that mean? Grandpa will support me.
Supporting myself, I would get a job, and I'm so excited to get a job, to be able to earn money and to be able to see what I can do to. I've never taken public transport, but I'm open to everything, and to being able to, you know, now that I'm getting a higher education right now, it's opening doors to so many new things. And I think that's going to help me support myself so much more than I ever could before all this.
Do you feel that you've changed since you've come to prison, or are you the same person that you were?
I am the most changed person that I could have ever been able to see myself as. I've grown, and I'm confident in saying that. I want to say that, like, since then, I've also found a passion. I've found a new passion, and that's changed me completely as a person. And that passion is just sharing awareness.
Is that her part-time job and passion? Because the first passion and job is, you know, schoolyard bully, you know, jail yard bully, right? She's getting in fights in the yard. She's breaking all the rules, stealing. You're a thief. So let's think about her passions that she's learned in jail. She's a thief. She's stealing butter for God knows what, okay? Probably to put golden tones in her hair. I mean, hello, okay? She's a bully in the yard getting in fights. She's a rule breaker in, you know, the housekeeping or whatever, and she can't follow the rules, and you got kicked out of the program that you were put in to teach you that, hey, maybe you have a substance abuse problem, and drinking and driving is wrong. Oh, she wants to be a cook and go home and have grandpa take care of her. Yeah, this is great. And she's never taken public transportation. Can you believe she just said that? So she's an elite. She's here, and we're here. She's here. We're here. Yeah, we know you don't take public transportation. That's why you got drunk. 4 drinks and a shot. 4 drinks and a shot in a matter of 4 to 5 hours. And you know she's lying. Okay? And, you know, you could have taken the bus. Probably would have been real easy.
And the risks and the terror and just the terrible things about driving under the influence. I mean, my values have grown. and my value of life, like, changes a person so much.
Yeah, the value of your life. Because see, what she realizes is that she threw her life away. Her life will never be the same, whether she gets out or not. That's why you're learning the hard lesson of the value of life. Jail is teaching you that. Now you're realizing how spoiled you were out in the world, okay? With freedoms that you don't have now. Yeah. And by the way, what is she learning in here? What are you learning in jail? I'm just curious. The only thing you learn is how to feel sorry for yourself and realize that you really made a huge mistake. And how can I maneuver her, I'm getting a higher education. What education are you getting? What does it matter? You're a felon. Higher education. What, are you going to get out and be a lawyer? I'm just curious.
It changes a person so much when you find your values in life. And I just wish that I could go on and on about all of that, of how I've changed. And if you want to hear about it, I'm happy to. I have some notes here that I would love to share as well, if that's okay.
Well, we are at the point where, as I said, if there's anything you think the board needs to know that we haven't covered, it's your opportunity to let us know. So tell me what we haven't covered that you believe the board needs to know.
Okay. When I was going through this board jacket, the board, not the blue one, but where they ask you questions and you fill it out. And there was this question in why I engaged in criminal activity. And I just want to say again that my next destination was more important in that moment. And that was so selfish of me. And it was just so irresponsible. But I want to just say some of the things that I have learned that that really mean a lot to me. And when it comes to my parents, they struggle. They do struggle. And I want to acknowledge that addiction does run in my family, and that I take pride in being a really good example over my siblings. To stay away from that slippery slope of addiction and leading you to a place like this. And don't get me wrong, this place has amazing things, but it also is not a place that you want to be in. But the thing is, the moment that you hurt somebody, this isn't the scary place. The scary place is what's in your head, knowing that you hurt someone. And knowing that you hurt innocent people, but also some more things that I learned is that my family's also trying to learn how to save lives as well. You know, my father does carry around a breathalyzer with him in his car, and he doesn't drink. But he told me this story, and he said, I saw a guy getting into his car they're up at the ski resort. He's about to get in his car, and
ski resort.
Said, hey man, how about you do this? You know, he says, oh, thank you. You know, and he uses my father's breathalyzer, and he says, how about you wait just a little bit? You know, my daughter's sitting in prison right now due to this thing, you know, and my family's out there sharing the story. And I feel that it is changing lives, and more lives will be saved. More than lives that were lost. And also, some of the other things that I've learned is I'm still learning how to redeem something so tragic. And take this and turn this into something inspiring. I'm praying. I've learned how to forgive others and repeatedly forgive myself. I've learned to humble myself and to get my priorities straight. And just to lighten some things up, I mean, I've learned so many cool things from these programs here. You know, I've learned to cook, and I've learned to stay organized, to communicate with all personalities. I've learned to plan and to not judge. I grew my faith, and I've learned to serve others, and I've learned the woman that I want to be. And that's a strong, inspiring woman. I'm growing my education. I'm growing my education so much. And that's something that I would never, ever would have thought that I would have been doing. I've participated in Slick Community College multiple semesters. I graduated culinary arts. I'm in web and graphic design, and I'm so grateful for that. I do UPEP. I do, I've worked as an ADA worker for this lady. She was just so sweet, who just inspires me so much. And she was an alcoholic as well. And her stories just inspire me to stay strong.
Okay. Are you working from jail on getting lobbyists together to make sure that every vehicle has a built-in breathalyzer that they have to blow into, regardless whether you're a drunk or not, to even start your car? Because I swear to God, that's like where we've gotten. That's where we've gotten in society. That every vehicle, to protect us and the people walking down the streets of New York and on the highway, whatever it is, okay? In cars, out of cars, doesn't matter. It's almost like every vehicle, Elon Musk needs to have something that every single vehicle makes you do some kind of breathalyzer test to see if there's even any alcohol, and the car doesn't even start. You see what I'm trying to say? You get it? Like, that's where we're at. How many people getting killed from drunk drivers is it going to take? Because you know you're never going to get alcohol banned. Okay, there's too many alcoholic fiends, and alcohol companies are way too powerful. Right? I mean, seriously, this is ridiculous.
There's so many things in this prison that has inspired me so much, and that even just down to the small AA groups and the religious services and just everything that I could possibly participate in, I have. And I worked hard for that every single day that I was here, regardless of, even the times that I was getting in trouble, that I sat there, I said, that's not going to stop me from trying. And for those of you who don't know, my blood mother came here. My blood mother came, and that was something that I would have never expected. And really, I knew she struggled with addiction. And so when she came here due to DUI offenses, I was so ready to just take care of her and show her the way of what this place can offer you, and make a positive effect in this and say anybody could end up here. And I'm so grateful that she didn't hurt anyone as well. But she did the Elevate program, and they said that in my blue jacket, that's one thing that I also wanted to mention, that in that blue jacket, they said that I couldn't get back in, but there was long periods of time actually that I was on an eligibility list to be able to get back in without, I've had one write-up this whole year in 2024.
She's only had one write-up this whole year. Only one. Why do you have any?
And, the reasoning why they couldn't put me back in on top of, that write-up was that my mother was in there. And due to therapeutic reasons, they wouldn't let me into the program to finish this program until my mother left. And so she just has left in this past July. She actually got out and she's doing really well.
All right. Thanks for telling me that.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it?
We need to wrap things up here shortly. Is there any last thing that the board needs to know before making its decision?
I just ask that you listen to the DAOs as well as you listen to our hearts, and just know that I'm so sorry for hurting our community as well, on top of my victims. And I will do everything I can to redeem it, no matter what. But until then, that's all I have to say. Or I'll just keep going on and on.
As I stated at the beginning, no decision is reached today. 3 members of the board must agree on what happens next, whether it's a rehearing, whether it's parole, or whether it's something else. That decision can take several weeks or even up to a month or 2.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you answering my questions today, and thank you, Mr. Dow, for appearing and giving that well thought out, heartfelt statement. I appreciate that. And we will conclude this hearing at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Now, this girl makes me sick to my stomach. Okay. But I'm going to read to you what the outcome was here, since we didn't know right from here. So they went and made their decision, and the decision was Kesley Pope, who was convicted of driving under the influence and killing a mother and a son who ran out of gas on the highway in 2021, was denied parole for the next couple of years. The board's decision cited multiple aggravating factors, including multiple victims, Season Dow and her son Toby, being killed. The board took into consideration the emotional and financial toll everything has taken on the Dow family. Ladies and gentlemen, I just cannot tell you anything that I loathe more than drinking and driving. I think it's absolutely inhumane to get drunk and have the audacity to get behind the wheel of a vehicle. I don't care if you're moving from parking space A to parking space B. I don't care if you're going one block. I don't care what you are doing. Okay? It is murder. It is murder. And it's not an accident when you kill somebody or hurt someone or injure someone and severely disrupt someone's life, or even just hit someone's car, even just a bumper, a fender bender, okay? It is unacceptable to be under the influence of any kind of drug, including and not limiting alcohol, and get in a car and try and operate it. In my opinion, this country, for something like this, if somebody dies, you should be in jail for life with absolutely no option for parole. I don't care if you're 12, 20, or 200 years old. You cannot bring back a life. Don't drink and drive. For God's sake, call an Uber. I'm Debrava. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please share. I think this one is an important one to share. I'll see you next time. Thanks.